Welcome. Dr. Chooks explains academic research writings, business enterprises, creativity and marketing, and topical academic subjects. Listen as Dr. Chooks explains today's concepts.
Hello, today we want to talk about communication and business. In fact, we want to focus on communication skills in the business place. So today we'll be emphasizing on some of the things that makes communication an important skill to possess in the business space. Okay. Now, communication as a skill, what does it really mean? Communication skills is the ability to convey or share ideas and feelings effectively. Now, what is a skill? A skill is the ability to do something well. Therefore, communication as a skill is that ability to convey or share ideas and feelings effectively and doing it well. Alright, business communication refers to the communication that takes place in a work environment, especially a business environment, and is meant to achieve the common goal of getting the job done and doing it effectively. Okay, that means communication within such an environment can be internal to that business organization or external to that business organization. Business communication, when it is internal, it is within the organization. It's also between colleagues within the organization, and it is between departments within the organization. As well, business communication, when it is external, it is between the organization and its vendors. It can also exist between the organization and partner organization depending on the business concern. Business communication, when it's also external, can be between the organization and its clients or the organization and the general public. All right, so skill is required to pass this information correctly. Now, what are the platforms for communication? When it comes to a company targeting a large audience, there are various platforms for communication. There could be face-to-face communication, there could be telephone and email communication, there could be online meetings. It's also a form of communication or a platform. There could be video conferencing. There could be voice messages sent to people to communicate particular idea, skill, or technical information. And there can be web chats and instant messaging. These are all platforms for communication. We can also have platforms like video, where you can communicate via videos. That is for video conferencing. You can also communicate via PowerPoint presentations in the case of seminars, workshops, and all that. You can also communicate through blogs. Your business organization has a platform like a website, and you can blog on your product, your activities, and all that. You can communicate through your apps. Some business organizations have apps that people have to download and use on their phones. Other platforms for communication are like the social media handles for the organization. You could use X, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, what have you. There are several platforms, social media platforms, that the organization could also use. Another typical and traditional way of communication, which is a very formidable platform for communication, is the television and radios, as the case may be. What are the types of communication skills a business manager or someone within an organization should possess? 1. Speaking skills, writing skills, reading skills, and listening skills. Of course, when you go through the four of them, you know it is quite important to possess these skills. Now, let's start with the speaking skills. Speaking skill. Speaking is a verbal communication mostly used in getting messages across in the workplace, within the organization, across to colleagues, across to management, and so on and so forth. One unique thing about speaking skills is that it is direct. It costs nothing. You just talk, and it is instant. Immediately you can speak and pass the information across. Then we have writing skills. This is another powerful business communication skill which embraces the gamut from email, internal business memos, formal letters, bulletin boards, posters, flyers, PowerPoint presentations, and so on and so forth. So writing skills, when it is effective, requires careful choice of words that sends out a message cogently and accurately. There are things you should note about writing skills. 1. It is the most reliable form of communication. It is clear and precise. It can be used to reach multiple individuals all at once, and it is the best way of conveying technical information. It is precise and explicit, therefore an effective tool to explain complex concepts and to issue instructions. Writing skills can also help you to avoid ambiguity, meaning it is unambiguous, and when the writer is articulate, he or she leaves no room for misinterpretation. It also creates a paper trail for future references, and it also helps the legal team of a large organization or business organization to do their job, because there will be paper trail, there will be evidential documents to back their activities. Now, reading skills. To be a successful employee, executive, a manager, or a CEO of an organization, you must master the act of reading, simply because at least half of your business communication is in written format, meaning you must read them in order to function properly or execute or make the right decision. Then we also have the listening skill. If there is a speaking skill, there's also a writing skill. This is perhaps the most difficult business communication skill to practice, because most times you are drawn into the temptation of interrupting when one is speaking because you need to say something. But listening is a skill. All right, now listening implies that you need not only hear what someone is saying, all right, but also understand the content and even the context in which that saying is presented. You should also be able to decode all the non-verbal signals and filters the message comes with, and this you will do without biases or prejudice. Listening is an important skill for managers as well as employees. If developed and taken further, it leads to a company that listens to what its clients, customers, and even the competition in the market, the competition in the marketplace has to stay. A company that listens is often one that is open to ideas, feedbacks, and innovations, and is one that has good organizational relations, because if you listen, you can stem grievances, pass information correctly, act timely, and so on and so forth. A company that listens is one that is willing to correct its mistakes and inevitable march towards success and progress. Now let's talk about the importance of effective communication skills. The first importance of effective communication skill is in management functions. Effective communication skill helps the managers perform the basic functions of management, which includes planning, organizing, motivating, and controlling. Another effective communication skill importance is that it makes things clear and understandable. It saves every party to the communication the unnecessary hassle of misunderstanding. The third importance of effective communication skill is in the form of litigation. It saves from litigation, because once communication is explicit, probably written, you will have evidence to back a litigation. The fourth is alternatives. It helps in identifying alternative course of action once communication skills is effective. Another importance of communication skills is in decision making. It helps decision making process, because the spoken word is clear, the listener has heard, understanding has been achieved. Probably if it is written, there is evidence to help make decision clearly. And then the sixth is in attitudes. Effective communication skills helps in building people's attitude. Of course, they understand now that behaving this way is wrong, not behaving this way is not acceptable. So it helps shape the people's attitude in an organization. Thank you very much for listening. If you have any questions to all that have just been said in this short explanation, drop them in the comment section below.